she is now, Ellen DeGeneres.
She came, she saw, she danced. After 19 seasons, the queen of daytime TV took to the stage one final time.
I walked out here 19 years ago and I said that this is the start of a relationship. And today is not the end of a relationship. It's more of a little break.
The first episode debuted on American screens in September 2003. Ellen took a moment to reflect on just how far society has come since then.
25 years ago, they canceled my sitcom because they didn't want a lesbian to be in prime time once a week. And I said, okay, then I'll be on daytime every day. How about that? When we started the show, I couldn't say gay on the show. Sure couldn't say wife, and that's because it wasn't legal for gay people to get married, and now I say wife all the time.
Jennifer Aniston was the show's first ever guest.
It's a welcome mat.
It's a welcome mat.
For your
Thank
guests.
you.
Fittingly, she was also the show's last.
This is my last mat that I'm going to give you.
Pink also hitting the stage for the big finale.
What about all the times you said you had the answer?
Up to 3 million people tuned in daily at the show's peak. There were moments across more than 3,000 episodes we'll never forget.
I'm Nicki Minaj, I met the juicer, cat cooser, but you got my heart beating,
It's your mortgage.
What I want to do with that is just tear that up.
They are going to build you a brand new home.
We're all getting 2 round-trip tickets on JetBlue.
But there were also moments Ellen would probably rather forget, like pressuring Mariah Carey to reveal she was pregnant.
Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should. My goodness.
And this Orcs moment with Dakota Johnson.
How was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited.
And of course, the beginning of the end. Behind the giveaways and dance moves lurked a toxic workplace culture, revealed by former staffers in mid-2020.
More employees, past and present, say that they were working in a toxic environment.
New allegations this morning, just hours after the talk show host apologized in that emotional letter to her staff.
With ratings plummeting, Ellen pulled the pin last year, declaring 2022 would be the show's final season. But despite the controversies, the Ellen DeGeneres Show leaves behind a lasting legacy.
If this show has made you smile, if it has lifted you up when you're in a period of some type of pain, some type of sadness, anything that you're going through, then I have done my job. So Twitch, one last time, dance with me.
To hear more, our entertainment correspondent Hyla joins us now from LA. Hyla, what did you make of the last Ellen episode?
I mean, anytime something iconic like this comes to an end, it's sad. I mean, you think back 19 years, 2003. What's going on in 2003? You know, Ellen talked about on her show that she couldn't even say the word gay on television. The network did not want her touching that word, not even talking about her wife. Technically, at the time, here in the United States, gay people could not be married. 50 Cent in the Club was the #1 song in the country. You had Billie Eilish, who was 1 year old. And I think even back then, Will Smith and Chris Rock were friends. This is how long ago we're talking about.
So this is all good. This is all the heartwarming stuff. But obviously the Ellen story turned a bit bad in recent years. How much has that overshadowed this, all the toxic workplace stuff?
I mean, the reality is there's always going to be, one bullet point that talks about, the toxicity at the workplace. At the end of the day, though, I think it's not going to get overshadowed because of so much that she did. I mean, the barriers that she broke. Unfortunately, there is always going to be this small little asterisk, for a small group of people that worked on her production. And, she got a lot of fame and a lot of success. And, I suspect maybe, she was kind of insular and didn't really surround herself around people who could check her in that way.
Harley, wasn't she a bully?
Absolutely. I mean, if you talk to anybody in the workplace, they're going to say she was a bully.
There's a bit more than a bullet point. Come on.
It's a small asterisk.
It depends who you ask. You know, if you are someone who lives in a suburban small town in America, you're probably not reading the trade magazines and getting into the nitty gritty of what happened. I mean, you're talking to someone who lives in Los Angeles, so obviously this is top of mind. But I think most people, their takeaway isn't going to be she was a bully. They're going to say, hey, I watched her in the afternoon at 4 o'clock and she brought me joy.
I mean, she says she's taking a break, but is she? Like, really, what do you think her next move is going to be?
I mean, listen, the reality is she got pushed out and she couldn't leave on her terms, right, because of the controversy. Who knows what's going to be next for her? But we've seen a lot of these high-profile interview-type people move on to something bigger. You know, Oprah still does interviews, and she has a network. David Letterman left late night, but then he had his own show on Netflix. So I could totally see Ellen stepping back into some type of interview show, role, concept here in the coming years.
Hyla, good to talk as always.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.